Welcome back. Now, Africa is facing a shortage of academics. The problem is made worse by the so-called brain drain from the continent. In some countries, universities can barely find enough professors to staff faculties. Others worry that they will run out of academics altogether. Now, the Partnership for Africa's Next Generation of African Academics, PANGeA, brings together 8 leading universities in East and Southern Africa to try and revive the continent's ailing higher education sector and attract young academics. Now, to tell us more, Cindy Lee Steenkamp joins us live via Skype from Stellenbosch University in Cape Town. Hi, Miss Stellenbosch, Miss Steenkamp.
Thank you.
Now, first, let's just, as briefly as you can, tell us, is this a major crisis, a lack of academics?
Absolutely. We found that a majority of Africans who pursue their higher degrees to the global north tend to stay, and they bring their families over with them. So the brain drain has had a very severe impact on higher education in Africa. The high demand for access to higher education has then further perpetuated this sort of lack of supply of trained academics that we are able to retain on the continent.
Now, we know that people are looking to survive, to make a living. How do you bring them back? How do you retain them when we know that academics are usually not as well paid in most parts of the continent?
Well, it's difficult to bring them back. So what PANGeA does is we are looking at Africa's next generation of academics. We've partnered with a number of higher education institutions on the continent. And what we do is we earmark and recruit and identify junior academic staff members already within the ranks at our partner institutions. And we put in several measures to both nurture, develop, and retain those intellectual resources.
Now, even as you look forward to that and hoping you will get as many as possible, one of the criticisms that has been directed to many African countries is that they are training more and more social scientists, people in the arts and the humanities, and neglecting especially those fields that would be the engines of development. What do you say?
Well, if you look at the funding model speaks otherwise. The arts, humanities, social sciences are very underdeveloped. They are very underfunded, while these are the sectors that are producing almost 60% of the scientific output. And what we have to look at is a more holistic approach. Any science for society can't just look at one specific discipline or one specific science. The types of challenges that we tackle, HIV/AIDS, poverty, inequality, these are the type of challenges that require experts' input from multiple disciplines as opposed to just one sector.
In few words, how do you attract people to universities? Like when you look at South Africa, there's so much turmoil at the local universities. Who wants to go there?
Well, you'd be surprised. I think this is exactly what the protests are about. It's about access. And South Africa is definitely seen as one of the premier destinations on the continent. And we've seen that the influx, especially of enrollments from other African universities, has been tremendous. People don't want to be as far away from their families, but they want to keep the African ties.
Okay, we'll continue this conversation, I'm sure, another time. Thanks a lot, Ms. Steenkamp.
Thank you.
Now, Cindy Lee Steenkamp speaking live via Skype from Stellenbosch University in South Africa.